Welcome back to UK Flicks. Tonight we dive into a dramatic tale inspired by the world of reality TV. Imagine the spotlight on Anna Johnston, daughter of Amber and Trent Johnston from Seven Little Johnstons. Behind the cameras, Anna's life takes a surprising turn. One filled with secrets, love, and family decisions that change everything. This isn't just another episode. It's a story of hidden romance, unexpected revelations, and the powerful bond of family. From secret room dates with her boyfriend Daniel to the shocking news of pregnancy, Anna's journey unfolds like a roller coaster ride. The Johnston family, known for their unity and resilience, faces one of their biggest challenges But instead of breaking apart, they come together, making bold choices, announcing a wedding, and even gifting Anna and Daniel a luxurious new home. Fans across the globe watch in awe as the Johnston family embraces change with love and support. So, buckle up because this is not just a story. It's a saga of love, family, and new beginnings. Let's begin. Anna Johnston had always been seen as the cheerful, independent daughter of Amber and Trent Johnston. But behind her radiant smile, a secret was quietly unfolding. Away from the cameras and family gatherings, Anna had found herself drawn to Daniel, a young man who captured her heart in ways no one else had. They started dating in a casual way with small talk and shared laughing. Those times soon grew into late-night room dates where Anna and Daniel would talk for hours about their hopes and dreams for the future. It was a love tale that no one else knew about, locked away in their private lives. Anna was aware of the dangers of keeping such a secret. The Johnston family respected honesty and openness, and they didn't like secrets very much. But the excitement of loving someone she shouldn't have kept her going. Daniel also knew how hard it was to keep things in balance. Music they were making something beautiful, but it was also very fragile. Over the course of weeks, Anna's feelings grew stronger. She wasn't simply falling in love. She was picturing a future with Daniel. But secrets always come out, and Anna's life was about to alter forever. What began as a peaceful love affair would soon be the talk of the family, the public, and decisions that would change their lives. For now, the secret was safe, but not for long. Anna Johnston's secret love affair with Daniel was growing in ways she never thought possible. What started off as quiet talks quickly became beloved traditions. Late-night dates in their rooms were a way for them to get away from the cacophony of the world and just be themselves. Anna and Daniel would sit together in the warm light of a lamp and tell each other stories, dreams, and jokes. These nights weren't about big gestures. They were about closeness, trust, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing this video a thumbs up. In Genoa City, hand tightly and looked straight into her eyes, and in that moment everything felt different, not like a mistake, not like fear, but like a turning point in their lives, something they couldn't run away from anymore. Daniel took a deep breath and said, "We will figure this out together no matter what happens. I am not going anywhere." Anna felt tears roll down her cheeks. But this time it wasn't just fear, it was a strange mix of relief and love. She wasn't alone anymore. The secret that once felt exciting had now become a reality that demanded courage and honesty, but outside that quiet room the world remained unaware. The Johnston family carried on with their usual routine, unaware that a storm was quietly building inside their own home. The next morning Anna woke up feeling heavier, not just physically, but emotionally. Every small interaction with her family now felt different. Every word, every glance carried the weight of the truth she was hiding. Amber noticed it again, the subtle change, the silence, the hesitation. "Anna, you okay?" she asked casually. But her eyes were searching for answers. Anna forced a smile. "Yeah, just tired, long night." Amber nodded, but she wasn't convinced. Trent looked between them, sensing something, but choosing not to push for now. Meanwhile, Daniel spent the day restless, his mind racing through every possible outcome, telling the family, facing their reaction, the public attention. Everything felt overwhelming, but one thing was clear: hiding this any longer would only make things worse. That evening Anna and Daniel met again, but this time there was no laughter, no light-hearted talk, just reality sitting between them like an uninvited guest. "We can't keep this a secret," Anna whispered, her voice trembling. Daniel nodded slowly. "I know, but how do we even start? How do you tell your family something like this?" Anna looked down, taking a deep breath. "I have to tell them soon, before they find out some other way, and that would be even worse." Daniel reached out, squeezing her hand. Whatever happens, I am with you. Anna managed a small smile, but inside her heart was pounding. She knew what was coming. The truth always finds its way out, and when it does, it changes everything. The following night became the moment Anna had been dreading all day. The family gathered in the living room. As usual, the atmosphere was calm, almost too calm. Anna stood there, her hand slightly shaking, her heart beating so loud it felt like everyone could hear it. Mom, Dad, I need to tell you something. Her voice broke. The room went silent. Amber immediately focused on her. Trent leaned forward, his expression serious. What is it? Anna swallowed hard. This was it. No turning back now. I have been seeing someone for a while. His name is Daniel. The words landed heavier than she expected. Amber blinked, surprised, but calm. Okay, Anna continued, her voice trembling. And there is more. I'm pregnant. The silence that followed was deafening. It wasn't just shock, it was disbelief. Emotions flooded the room, confusion, concern, fear, and 1,000 unspoken questions. Trent stood up, slowly processing the weight of what he just heard. Amber's eyes filled with emotion, but she stayed composed, trying to understand before reacting. This is serious, Anna, very serious. Trent finally said, his voice firm but not angry. Anna nodded, tears falling. I know I didn't plan this. I was scared to tell you both. Amber took a deep breath, walking closer to her daughter, placing a hand on her shoulder. Why didn't you come to us sooner? Anna looked down. I thought you would be disappointed, maybe even angry. Trent exhaled heavily, running his hand across his face. We are shocked, yes, but you are our daughter. We will get through this together. Amber pulled Anna into a gentle hug, the tension in the room slowly shifting from shock to concern and support. But the conversation was far from over. Questions needed answers. Who is Daniel? What does he do? Is he ready for this responsibility? Trent asked, his protective instincts kicking in. Anna wiped her tears. He knows, and he wants to be here. He is not running away. Amber exchanged a glance with Trent. This changed everything, not just for Anna, but for the entire family. What once seemed like a perfect, controlled life was now entering a completely new chapter, one filled with uncertainty, but also possibility. And as the night went on, the Johnston family began doing what they always did best, facing challenges together, not as individuals, but as a unit bound by love and resilience. Little did they know this was only the beginning of a journey that would test them in ways they never imagined, and at the same time bring them closer than ever before. Before the night ended, the house that once felt calm now carried a completely different energy. Every room, every corner seemed to echo the weight of what had just been revealed. Anna sat quietly on the couch, her hands clasped together, while Amber and Trent exchanged looks, trying to process everything at once. This was not how they imagined their daughter's future unfolding, not like this, not so suddenly, but at the same time they knew this was real, and it wasn't something they could ignore or wish away. The next morning, the Johnston household woke up to a new reality. The usual routine felt unfamiliar. Breakfast was quieter, conversations shorter, even the laughter that once filled the air seemed distant. Amber stood in the kitchen watching Anna carefully. She could see the mix of fear and hope in her daughter's eyes, and as a mother that feeling hit deeply. She walked over, placing a warm hand on Anna's shoulder. We are going to handle this step by step, okay? Anna nodded softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Okay, Mom. Trent, on the other hand, had taken a more serious approach. He wasn't angry, but he was focused, determined to understand who Daniel was and what kind of person his daughter had trusted with something this big. Later that day, Daniel was invited over to the house. The atmosphere was tense, not hostile, but definitely serious. Daniel walked in, trying to stay calm, but the pressure was undeniable. He knew this moment would define everything. Trent sat across from him, his posture firm. So Daniel, tell me what your intentions are. Daniel took a deep breath, looking straight into Trent's eyes. So I care about Anna a lot, and I am ready to take responsibility for everything. Trent studied him carefully, not just listening to his words, but watching his confidence, his honesty. Amber joined in, her tone softer. But just as important, this is not just about words, Daniel. This is about commitment, about showing up every single day. Daniel nodded. I understand. And I am not here to run away. I want to be part of this family. Anna watched the conversation unfold, her heart racing. Every second felt like a test, a moment where everything could either fall apart or come together. And slowly something unexpected started to happen. The tension began to ease. Trent leaned back slightly, his expression softening just a little. All right, he said, we will take this one step at a time, but understand this, you have a lot to prove. Daniel nodded firmly. Yes, sir. Amber gave a small reassuring smile to Anna, signaling that things were not as bad as they could have been. But even with that moment of calm, new challenges were already on the horizon. The news could not stay inside the house forever. With a family as public as theirs, it was only a matter of time before the outside world found out. Days passed, and the family began adjusting to the situation. Discussions about the future became more frequent. Plans had to be made, decisions taken. One evening, Trent gathered everyone in the living room again, his voice steady. We need to think about what comes next. Anna looked up, her eyes filled with uncertainty. What do you mean? Trent took a breath. We need to decide how we are going to move forward as a family. Amber added gently, this is not just about dealing with the present. This is about building a stable future for you and the baby. Daniel sat beside Anna, listening carefully, feeling the weight of responsibility settle deeper within him. And then came the unexpected. Suggestion. Trent looked at Daniel and Anna. If you both are serious about this, if you are ready to commit, then maybe it's time to make things official. Anna's eyes widened. You mean? Trent nodded slowly. Marriage, the word hung in the air, powerful, life-changing. Daniel looked at Anna, and in that moment everything became clear. All the fear, all the uncertainty led to this one decision. He reached for her hand. I am ready if you are. Anna felt her heart pound, but instead of fear she felt something else. Something stronger, confidence. She nodded slowly. Yes, I am ready too. Amber smiled softly, her eyes glistening with emotion, while Trent gave a firm nod. Then we will do this the right way. What followed was a whirlwind of preparations, conversations, and emotions. The Johnston family shifted from shock to action. Plans for a wedding began to form, not as a rushed decision, but as a step toward stability and unity. The idea of celebrating love in the middle of uncertainty brought a new kind of energy into the house, but that wasn't the only surprise. Trent had one more thing in mind, something that would change Anna and Daniel's life even further. A few days later, he gathered them again. I have been thinking, he said carefully, if you two are going to start a family, then you need a place of your own. Anna and Daniel looked at each other, confused. What do you mean? Daniel asked. Trent allowed a slight smile. Your own home, a fresh start. The room fell silent once again, but this time it wasn't shock, it was disbelief mixed with gratitude. Anna's eyes filled with tears again, but these were different tears, tears of appreciation, of love, of realizing that no matter how difficult things got, her family was standing right beside her, stronger than ever. And as the days moved forward, the story that once began as a secret slowly transformed into something much bigger, a story of love, courage, family, and new beginnings, a journey that would soon capture the attention of everyone watching and leave them wondering what would happen next. The news didn't stay hidden for long. As expected, whispers began turning into conversations, and conversations into headlines. Fans across the world started noticing subtle changes in Anna's life, her expressions, her appearances, and soon speculation spread like wildfire. Social media buzzed with questions, theories, and curiosity. Everyone wanted to know what was really going on inside the Johnston family, but what they didn't see was the emotional journey unfolding behind closed doors. The wedding preparations moved forward quickly yet carefully. Amber took charge of organizing every detail, determined to make this moment special despite the unexpected circumstances. She wanted Anna to feel celebrated, not judged, loved, not pressured. Meanwhile, Trent focused on ensuring stability, meeting with Daniel more often, guiding him, testing him, understanding if he was truly ready to step into such a big responsibility. Daniel, on his part, was trying his best, balancing emotions, pressure, and expectations. He knew he had to prove himself not just to Trent and Amber, but to Anna as well. Late nights that were once filled with secret laughter were now replaced with planning, discussions, finances, future goals, and responsibilities. But through it all, their bond didn't weaken. If anything, it grew stronger. Every challenge they faced together made them more certain of their decision. Anna, too, was changing. The cheerful, carefree girl everyone knew was evolving into someone more grounded, more aware of life's reality. She spent time thinking about the baby, about the kind of mother she wanted to be, about how her choices would shape the future. One evening, while sitting alone in her room, she placed her hand gently on her stomach. A quiet moment of realization washed over her. This was no longer just about her or Daniel. This was about a new life, a new beginning, and that thought filled her with both fear and strength at the same time. Downstairs, Amber and Trent had their own conversation. This is happening fast, Amber said softly. Trent nodded. But maybe this is exactly what she needs to grow, to understand life in a deeper way. Amber sighed. I just want her to be okay. Trent looked at her reassuringly. She will be, because we are here. And that was the truth. The Johnston family had always faced challenges with unity, and this time was no different. As the wedding day approached, excitement slowly replaced tension. Dresses were chosen, decorations planned, invitations discussed. Everything started to come together like pieces of a puzzle. But outside the home, the public reaction was mixed. Some fans showed overwhelming support, praising the family for standing by Anna. Others questioned the situation, criticizing the speed of decisions, the secrecy, and the sudden changes. Yet the Johnston family chose to focus on what mattered most: their bond, their trust, and their future. The day before the wedding, emotions ran high. Anna stood in front of the mirror, looking at herself in her dress. It wasn't just about looking beautiful, it was about accepting everything that had led her to this moment. Daniel walked in quietly, stopping for a second. As he saw her, "You look amazing," he said softly. Anna smiled, but her eyes carried a depth of emotion. "Are we really doing this?" she asked. Daniel stepped closer, taking her hands. "Yes, we are, and we will face everything together." Anna took a deep breath, feeling a calmness settle within her. The fear that once controlled her thoughts was now replaced with determination. The next day marked a turning point, not just in Anna and Daniel's life, but in the entire Johnston family. As guests gathered and the ceremony began, there was a sense of something powerful in the air. Not perfection, but authenticity. Not a fairy tale, but a real story filled with unexpected twists and genuine emotions. Trent walked Anna down the aisle, his expression proud yet emotional. This wasn't the path he had imagined, but seeing his daughter strong and ready made him realize something important. Life doesn't always go as planned, but sometimes it leads you exactly where you need to be. As Anna and Daniel stood together exchanging vows, every word carried weight, every promise held meaning. This wasn't just about love, it was about commitment, responsibility, and stepping into a future they never anticipated, but were now ready to embrace. Amber watched from the side, tears in her eyes, but a smile on her face. Her daughter was not alone. She was supported, loved, and surrounded by a family that refused to let her fall. And as the ceremony came to an end, applause filled the space, not just from guests, but from a family that had chosen unity over judgment, strength over fear, and love above everything else. But even as the celebration continued, a new chapter was already beginning, one that would bring its own challenges, its own surprises, and moments that no one could predict. And just when everything seemed to settle, another unexpected twist was waiting just around the corner, ready to test them once again.